I think we live in the most exciting time as marketers. There has actually never been a more dynamic time to do the things that we've probably wanted to do for the last several decades, which is to have a meaningful connection with people. Since the mobile phone was invented 34 years ago, you heard the number, 7 billion phones are out there. Just in the last year, 1 billion smartphones were sold. Our world is going to be fundamentally different in the next several years when the majority of the world is connected to the internet. So this is the first time in practically 60 plus years that consumer attention is now on a daily basis being spent more on digital than they are on TV. And so when I sit with our partners and our clients and I say, this is the first time those lines have crossed in over 60 years, if we are not as an industry fundamentally thinking differently about how our go-to-market strategy is, we are doing something wrong. We are behind, and that's a big development. When you combine the power of the individual device that people have and the scale of the mobile phone with the ability to personalize marketing for the very first time, this is fundamentally different than it was ever before. Mobile has been the very best thing that has happened to the Facebook business because it has allowed people to connect throughout the day to something that's quite meaningful to them, to friends and family, to brands and information that they want to have access to. It becomes much more of a personalized targeting and allows marketers to get to the people that actually matter to them, thus reducing a lot of waste and inefficiency that's in the marketing budgets today. By the time you all go to bed tonight, about 180,000 people will have joined Facebook in India. About 125,000 people have joined Facebook in Brazil. It is happening that quickly.
The world of omnicommerce is going to be a space where we as consumers will enjoy a consumer purchase experience that is completely consumer-centric. It'll conform to our behavior. It'll be fully integrated. It'll be added value, and it will be seamless. You're going to see a complete convergence of physical, digital, and social dimensions of commerce. That will not just transform the way we shop and the way we pay as consumers, it's going to significantly transform the way that we engage with brands, with products, with people, and also the physical environment. We need to recognize the fact, we need to acknowledge and embrace the fact that the power has shifted from brands to people. We recognize the fact that we had to put people at the heart of a story, not the brand. People don't talk about brand stories, they talk about people's stories. We have to understand consumers as individuals and use those great insights that we can glean to not only inform the content that we need to create that will get people talking about us, but also to inform where in the consumer decision journey we need to place that content to make sure that we engage them in the right way, at the right time, and in the right place.
We asked people, first of all, just in terms of product experience, where would you be most likely to share a good or bad product experience? We found that there was a shift. So most people in a good product experience would turn to Facebook. And then that number of Facebook shares got a little smaller and increased on Twitter when it was a bad product experience. So people were more likely to share a negative experience on Twitter. And then very similar pattern for service experience. So in a bad service experience, people were going to be more likely to use Twitter than Facebook. And also in the good side, you saw more of this shift towards the visual platforms like Instagram and Pinterest, etc. Age matters. So your older subjects are much more likely to share their experiences, their product and service experiences, period, in social media. So when you think about who's out there actually tweeting and posting on Facebook about this great product that I got, or this great vacation, or this great restaurant, these are going to be your older consumers that are more likely to share. Back in 2009, I signed up on Twitter and used it primarily for my airlines, because when they would leave me stranded in an airport, I would tweet and they would get back to me. So again, thinking about not just who you're talking to, not just the specific machinery or the technology of mobile versus tablets versus computer, which is terribly important, but also the platform. How are people using it? Does our message fit in this situation? Does it fit how people are using it and what people are looking to it for?